Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Friday, February 14th, Valentine's Day, 2025. All right, guys and girls, this is my pre-market report. I'm in a pretty good mood today. Not because it's Valentine's Day or anything else, just because I want to especially say how much I appreciate all of you out here. And as you can see, I'm kind of casual today. I am wearing a Rasta necklace. One love, that's what it's all about. I thought it would be a nice day, being that it is Valentine's Day, to maybe outwardly express that concept of one love, man, because it's the truth. All right, now with that said, I want to talk about a few things with all of you here. Look, we understand, at least you should. We're living in very interesting times. Certain things are going to happen. They're happening right now. It's going to accelerate moving forward. That means that there are places where you and I could put some cash to work where there is opportunity, and it's everywhere, people, honestly. Now, I want to talk about that, as I said. Let me just recap a little bit of what's going on here this morning with regard to the market. So yesterday's run up in this stock market was all about what happened in the debt market. A massive, massive amount of debt buying yesterday. The 10-year yield dropping 10 basis points in one day, and that did push the S&P 500 to a new record high. We have not been here since December 5th. Okay, we're here now, but we have to see this hold. So this is stock futures this morning. We're down, nothing major, a little bit across the board. Now hold that thought, because I want to get back to that. I want you guys and girls to pay attention to what's happening here with silver. Are you seeing this? Now, if you're new here, I'm going to let you in on a little secret that Greg Mannarino has been telling people for 1,000 years. Silver today is the number one most undervalued asset on the planet. Now, I don't come up with this just because it sounds like a nice catchphrase, okay? I look at a few dynamics, and they're pretty simple to understand. Let's just put dollar devaluation or central bank issued notes, currency purchasing power destruction on the back burner, which is going to accelerate moving forward. And that's an opportunity too. We'll talk about in just a moment here. But when I look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average to gold ratio, and then I look at the gold to silver ratio. These are real things. You can look this stuff up for yourself. I always urge you to do your own research and your own homework. We understand that we're seeing a few things happen with regard to these three metrics, if you want to measure valuation with regard to silver in this case, or gold as well. We have to establish what we believe is the most likely bottom to the stock market. What do we all know? The stock market today, as I have told you for 1,000 times, this is a house of cards. The entire system is a house of cards built upon a pool of gasoline, and it's going to go off. The debt market right now today is the greatest threat to human life on this planet, and I mean this in the literal sense. An implosion of the debt market is going to occur. Right now it's being fueled with such ferocity, with global debt surging at its fastest pace we've ever seen. It's not going to stop. The mechanism of global inflation is not going to stop, because nothing is standing in its way right now. The people of this world, all of us, are being, the middle class especially, are being set up to lose in such a way it's going to spin people's heads around like the freaking exorcist, like I've been explaining to you forever. The last two videos that I did, it's unfortunate, got not as many views as they should have with regard to what we're going to see with regard to an inflationary tsunami that's going to hit us here in the United States and around the world. Nothing standing in its way right now. The prospect of allowing, unfortunately, the Federal Reserve and central banks to inflate on an epic scale just is fully intact here, and I understand that. I've been speaking a lot about the Gold Reserve Act of 1934, where President Trump could literally legally uh, back the dollar with gold by via an executive order today. We could end the Federal Reserve today. We could end the central banking system today. It's a very simple thing to do. He signed a lot of executive orders as of late. A lot of this stuff really good stuff. I give credit where credit's due. Okay, now uh, if, in fact, he were to do this today, we, the people of not just the United States, but the world, would win. The Reserve Act of 1934 is an incredible tool which allows a president here in the United States to stabilize the economy. I would have to say, and most of you would have to agree, that after the nightmare situation that we've had with regard to Bidenstein, and it goes beyond that, okay? The world economy, let's just say that, is being systematically wiped out. And this is really the backbone of this is, of course, artificially suppressed rates, currency devaluation, which is a wrecking machine for the global economy. Okay, this mechanism doesn't appear that it's going to stop unless, of course, President Trump were to exercise his right as a sitting U.S. president to enforce the Gold Reserve Act of 1934, which would allow him to monetize gold, back the dollar with gold, and he can revalue gold at whatever he sees fit. I'm telling you what that number is. It's probably 50, 60, 70,000 dollars an ounce. We could fix the entire situation. In my opinion, this would go down as the greatest act of any president or any world leader in the history of the world, since we've been stripped away from a constitutional money system and forced to participate in a central bank run debt-based system of this fiat monetary nightmare that we're all in, unfortunately. But again, there's opportunity here too. And I think we're pretty much all on the same page here. Now, look, unfortunately, people rarely, it's a weird phenomenon to help themselves, even when opportunity presents itself like it is right now. Now, again, going back to what I showed you here with regard to silver, I'm going to tell you what I've been explaining to you again for 1,000 years. It's commodities. Commodities are real things. It's not fantasy land. These things are actually on the elemental chart, not like your 401k plans, for example, where you got digits on a screen and you think you're rich. Okay, no, you're not rich. These are nothing but digits on a screen. They're not there. Neither is any of the cash that you believe is in your accounts that you put in these banks, these financial institutions. Not there either. We don't even have a reserve system anymore. It's really quite an illusion that they've managed to put in front of people's faces here. And the fact that the S&P 500 here hit a record high yesterday, this is just on the back again of debt. It has nothing to do with economic policies or anything else. I mean, yesterday President Trump said, okay, Biden inflation is still hitting the market. He's absolutely correct here. Again, monetary policy is run by central banks, but presidents can work with a central bank to allow them to inflate. But again, if that was the fault of Biden, then yesterday's record high as well with regard to the S&P 500 was also the responsibility of Biden, right? That gets omitted. Again, presidents, politicians, look here. Don't look over there. It's always the same story, but you and me, we see through all the nonsense, all the garbage, all the propaganda, all the misinformation, the deceptions. It's just too simple. Um, Anyway, just a couple of things I want to bring to your attention again. Where is opportunity? Number one, people, you got to get out of central bank issued notes. There is no way to stop, at least right now, the tsunami of inflation that is about to hit all of us. Again, I did 2 videos on this over the last couple of days where I focused on this. Got very low views. People, they don't want to hear it, I suppose. Or maybe I have no idea what's on their mind. But these last 2 videos that I did, if you have not seen them, I would urge you to watch them. Because again, it's a nightmare. What we're about. We haven't been where we are right now since 1972 with regard to a particular crossover with the CPI and the rate of inflation. We're about to see this take off on a scale you're not going to believe. The mechanism of central banks, in this case the Fed, All central banks right now, the number one issuers in the form of currency and buyers of debt here, keeping rates suppressed, they're buying government debt, monetizing the debt. This is an inflationary and nightmare situation. It's not going to stop. And nobody here wants to put a roadblock in front of it. I mean, we have Pocahontas on this side, Elizabeth Warren, and you got Donald Trump on the same page with demanding that the Fed, if Trump's back to this again, demanding that the Fed lower rates. This is exactly what we don't need. We need much higher rates. That's what stopped the inflationary madness all through the 70s into the early 80s. But then Fed Chair Paul Volcker took action in 1979 to start dramatically raising rates after the inflation rate went from 3% to 15. Okay, we're going to see that to a much greater degree. But the problem is the lag effect. The lag effect is immense. It took years. It took a few years for Volcker's raising of rates to actually start to allow inflation to come down. And unfortunately, we the people paid for it then, and we're going to pay for it now because the environment is much worse. There's no comparison to where we are now to where we were in 1972. So in other words, if action isn't taken now, for the central bank or President Trump to start demanding that the Fed raise rates the opposite of what he's calling for now and Elizabeth Warren, we're all in for quite a moment in time. People aren't gonna be able to survive. Again, we're being squeezed. I've been explaining to everyone this is deliberate. There's no comedy of errors that got us here. This is a deliberate act. The middle class. This is an extinction level event of the middle class around the world. Currency devaluation, my number one theme, where I left off at the end of last year. We're going to see this to an extreme degree moving forward. So what does that tell us right off the bat? Where's the opportunity? Opportunity is get out of the dollar, get out of central bank issued notes that are being systematically taken apart piece by piece by piece by freaking piece here. And again, I believe a crisis situation is being manifested on purpose. On purpose as we're being bridged into this crypto system, which is going to lead to full tokenization, and everybody knows it. Everybody knows it's coming, but no one's taking any action. Maybe you are. I know some of you are actually writing to your representatives talking about the Gold Reserve Act of 1934, which really would save the world. I don't know another way to put it here. But again, what are we getting? Calls for lower rates. You can't imagine the destruction. Maybe you can if you follow this blog, what this actually means. On top of currency purchasing power destruction, are you really thinking that prices of things are going to come down? No, they're not going to. Unfortunately, we're just on the threshold of a major event, a major inflationary event that's gonna rock the core of the earth here, and there's nothing to stop it. But anyway, so out of the dollar. I sincerely believe you need to be out of these banks. Honestly, put your cash into a credit union. These institutions do not take the risk that the commercial banks do with regard to derivatives. Stay away from Bank of America. It's being set up to fail here. Again, they gotta assign blame. They know the system is coming down because they're taking it apart piece by piece. But blame must be assigned. The other major Wall Street institutions, I mean, these institutions, they're all insolvent. They have negative balance sheets. Despite the fact that people are now piling on debt more so than they ever have because they can't survive. This is a phenomenon you and I spoke about years ago what happened. Years ago what happened. If you look back on the stuff that you and I have covered over these years, it's mind-blowing how much of it has actually happened. 90% of it has actually come true. Maybe more than 90% of it. And what I'm telling you right now with this inflationary tsunami that's going to hit us here because no action is being taken against it is going to hit you directly right in your pocketbook so hard you're not going to know what to do yourself. You think life is hard for you now? Wait till you see and forget about the tariffs. Okay, let's even talk about what tariffs are going to do. Moving down the line here, good, bad, or indifferent. Some of what Trump has done here is very good, very, very good with regard to tariffs. No doubt about it. I am not a tariff guy. I think there's other ways around this here. Tariffs are not paid by governments. A lot of people think that's the case. It's not true. Tariffs are paid by the importers and exporters, and those costs are passed on to you. This does hurt business to a certain degree, but it doesn't hurt the government. You understand? I hope you guys and girls do a little research on all this here. So again, get out of these banks, man. Put your cash into a credit union here. only keep cash, or you need some cash, unfortunately. A cash position is the last thing you want to be in. So you want to look for opportunities. Where should you be putting your cash to work? I still say that physical silver remains the most undervalued asset on the earth. But again, looking at the Dow gold ratio, gold silver, where's the bottom for the Dow? The bottom for the Dow really is, again, we're going to face this moment here. An implosion of the debt market is going to happen. They're setting this up. Implosion of debt markets means we're going to see the stock markets of the world get wiped out. Wiped out. The bottom for the Dow, in my opinion, is 8,000. I've been telling you this guy. It used to be 6. Now I've upped it to 8. Okay. Why 8? These companies do have value, believe it or not. So let's say we get, again, in a worst case scenario, it could be lower than that, but let's just say it's 8,000 for the Dow. I believe we're going to get a 1-to-1 ratio. 1-to-1 gold, Dow Jones Industrial Average, gold 1-to-1. You've heard me say this 1,000 times if you've been with me. What does that mean for silver? It means we're going to get we could potentially get a 10-to-1 gold silver ratio, at least 15-to-1. So just think of what I'm talking about here. That's where opportunity is as well. Period. The freaking end. If you look this stuff up for yourself, there's a forecast that we're going to be seeing deficits with regard to the physical silver here. The demand is outpacing what we actually have. So that's opportunity. There's an article here on it. There's an article here on it. You can look this stuff up for yourself. Now, here's something else where I think opportunity is, and a lot of you are going to differ with me on this. Look, let me just say this. President Trump has been the best thing that has happened to the cryptocurrency space probably almost since its inception. So Bitcoin could see a $23 billion inflow. 18 states are now passing bills to establish crypto reserves. No doubt about it, people. You need some exposure here to cryptocurrencies. I know you guys and girls, some of you hate it. All right. In my opinion, I've been telling you this since Bitcoin 17,500 when it came out here publicly, and I said now is the time to buy. We're at almost 100,000. And I can promise you that we're going much, much higher than that. Commodities is where you need to be. Pretty much across the board. You need to gain exposure to commodities, but if you had to hold just one, there it is. All right, pretty much outline that for you forever here. Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, XRP. You guys and girls know that I just bought more of this stuff. I have a significant holding in this stuff. I'm an open book. Everybody knows what I'm doing. Now, with regard to the stock market, for my lions that keep saying, Greg, when are we getting back in here? We got out of here right at the top. Right at the top. That was in December out. And we waited for this. And I've been telling you, let's wait till we surpass and hold above the December 5th high of 6088. We are above that right now. We need to hold that where we are now with regard to the S&P 500. Hold it, and then we need to see a move higher. That would be a great entry point back into the market. I know the market's not real. I know it's distorted. There's no price discovery behind anything anymore at this point, really. But look, if we know that we're going to see central banks continue their mission here to inflate, which means artificially suppress rates. And now again, we have Pocahontas, freaking Elizabeth Warren, who doesn't know the first thing about the economy or finance. Then we have President Trump, who I would like to believe does understand the economy, does understand how this is going to hit us all. He's on the same page as Warren. That should worry you a little bit here. Because again, there's no stopping the tsunami of inflation that's going to hit us all unless action is taken against it. It's accelerating. The tsunami is getting larger and larger and larger. And like I said, until Paul Volcker took action in 1979 to vastly raise rates, who knows where inflation would have gone then. Today it's much, much worse. Anyway, guys and girls, look, man, the opportunities are everywhere. I think the biggest opportunities are where I just outlined for you here, in commodities and in physical silver. I love gold. I own gold. You all know that. Here, I'm gonna here. Where is it? Here. Here's just 1 ounce. Love this stuff here. Love it. I got it all over my desk. But silver is where you need to be. Commodities are where you need to be. These are priced in dollars. Commodities are priced in dollars, meaning if we understand that we're going to see massive currency devaluation moving forward, how's that going to affect the price of commodities? How's it going to affect the price of everything, including stocks? When currency is devalued, the illusion of the market becomes more real to some people because again it costs more to buy anything, even shares of stock. Do you see what I'm talking about? It's an incredible illusion that has been created here, people, and some people think that the illusion is real. The illusion is not real. Everything that you think is real is not, and nothing is what it appears to be. I've been trying to tell you this for 1,000 years. 1,000 freaking years. All right, people, look, man. So here's the situation. Being that today is Valentine's Day or One Love Day, my Rasta necklace here, um, people, I'm going to take the rest of the day off. In fact, the market is closed on Monday. I'm not going to do markets or look ahead until Monday. So I'm not going to see you guys and girls for several days here. All right, I need a little downtime. I'll be honest with you. This stuff here, tracking it the way that I do, immersing myself in this, it's it can get to you. It absolutely can get to you from time to time. All right, but look, I know that you guys and girls are on the right track. I have worked so hard to keep you there. Now, look, I'm going to urge you to do something, okay? If you missed my last couple of videos, which got very poor viewership here, either they're being shadow banned or whatever it might be, I really want you to watch these videos. Do the one, I've been speaking a lot about this Gold Reserve Act of 1934. Look into this stuff. Write to President Trump. Write to your representatives about this here. I know it's so great. Let's add Bitcoin reserves. Let's add Bitcoin reserves. How about adding a gold reserve here? How about backing the dollar with gold again? This would fix everything here. All roads lead back to gold and silver. Doesn't it seem like that way to you? Without this kind of a mechanism, which is a constitutional money system, which we're guaranteed in the U.S. Constitution, the vast majority of people are going to continue to lose. But I'm here just to say, look, man, there's opportunity everywhere. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Most people are going to miss this, unfortunately, and they're going to allow themselves to be destroyed by the system, which is systematically being taken apart piece by piece. I don't want that to be you. You understand? All right, guys. I goes, look, man, this guy here loves you from the heart with all I got. And because you're not going to see me again until Monday, okay? No post-market today. No live stream. Bring it in. Bring it in, people. Ready? Love each other. Care about each other. And be charitable to each other. We can change the world. Forget about all this other stuff. We can change the world with one love, okay? If we start to embrace all that concept of one love. Sound about right to you, or is Greg just really off in la la land? I want to hear from you on that one too. All right, people, please take care of yourselves. Enjoy this day, this One Love Day, and your entire weekend and everything. Realize that every day above ground is a good day. It's the truth, and just I don't know. Love all of you. I'll see you Monday for my markets a look ahead. All right, that's it.